This is for real this time. My name's Joe.
My name is Ed.
And we're Game Soup, and we're checking out a game today called Seraph's Last Stand. And Ed's played this one before. He is going to be on the controller, and because we don't have a ton of time to make this episode, but we wanted to make one more episode tonight. And it is a roguelite, and it is on Steam, and it is cheap.
I think it's $1. Either $1 or $2. I don't know. I grabbed this just completely on a whim, which is how I expect most people will grab it, right?
Well, maybe they'll grab it from watching our episode of it. Let us know if you do that.
Maybe.
Even in the comments below if you do such a thing.
I did play a run of this, not today, but a couple days ago. It's wave-based, so now we've got to make a decision here. All right. Summon a wisp that inherits half your attack, damage, and speed. That sounds pretty reasonable.
They give you 5 to choose from. Usually these kind of games give you 3, and you upgrade to 4 or 5 choices.
Yeah.
But this is a very generous game.
And also you can jump.
I like when the descriptions are short. This game does seem like the descriptions are short and concise. They're not trying to be clever with the descriptions at all. It's just, there you go. Movement speed,
very
plus 20%. And it tells you exactly how much faster it makes you.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, I like when it's specific and brief. And it seems that this game is covering both of those bases. So what are these things? Lobsters or something?
Well, I guess the idea is you're the Seraph if it's your last stand. So what are these? What could these be? I don't know. They look like, in the art, they're just things with giant eyeballs. So use your imagination. They're eyeball creatures, I guess. It does take a while to ramp up.
Yeah, I imagine this might turn into a bullet hell type of thing.
Let's see.
Damage plus 4. Are the green ones, are they like uncommon or stronger versions?
I think so. Yeah, because there is an option to roll better options. That's a power up that you can pick.
So maybe that's why they give you 5 to choose from, is because sometimes you wind up getting upgraded versions. Yeah, these ones have purple.
Yeah, these must all be
purple outlines and yellow lettering.
Ooh, these are good. When killed, release 6 weaker projectiles in random directions.
Okay.
These are all really good, actually. Lifesteal is also very good.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds probably the most interesting.
The build I had last time was based on there's a power up.
There you go.
Yeah.
They all missed.
There's a power up that lets you
sometimes.
Shoot. Oh. Okay, let me think here. Chance to drop orbs. Well, I think that's the meta progression currency. Let's just reroll. Call 2 thunderbolts from the skies every few seconds?
Yeah, let's try
please. Yes, please.
This is already getting a little bit hectic.
Yeah. But there's one power-up that lets you, for every meter you move, left or right, you shoot something into the air automatically. But if you just hold down or up, it's still counted as you moving. So you can just stand in place, and you can kind of, it's this one, actually. So for every meter you run, 1 explosive projectile is launched upwards. However, you can just hold down. Or maybe they patched it.
Oh.
Maybe they patched it. But it kind of changes the gameplay, fundamentally, because now it's a matter of moving back and forth as quickly as you can to proc, to kind of proc these extra bullets.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting. Can you jump and move up those platforms to the left there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure why you'd want to in a lot of situations.
I'm sure the answer will be revealed in time. If you play the game enough,
it's kind of. It's kind of interesting. It's a shmup, but also a platformer. So you can't really use the traditional shmup tactic of moving up very close to the enemies and having the backward space to dodge. You're kind of stuck to the ground. So you're sort of. Yeah, it's sort of like it moves back to an older style of shmup where you could not move up and down like Space Invaders or Galaga, like the originals.
Call 6 thunderbolts from the sky. Yes, please. Yes, please.
So, they're just constantly coming out. It seems like it just calls. Yeah, it seems like it calls 1 fireball every third of a second or something.
Lifesteal. Lifesteal is pretty good because we're
down to 11.
Yeah, this does happen.
Yeah, lifesteal. Oh yeah, that steals 1 life. Is it 1 life for each enemy killed? That would probably be pretty good because you're killing a lot of enemies.
It was 3%, so I assume it does. It works in decimals, fractions, but it's 3% of my damage dealt, I assume.
Oh, I see. Okay. I guess it just happened to happen the first time when an enemy died. You're down to 2 already, though. Jump height. That doesn't seem that useful.
No, I think there are builds that, well, quote-unquote builds that you can do that, do something interesting with, but...
Yeah, I can imagine developers coming up with something clever, some kind of a build that would be interesting and possibly powerful, utilizing jump.
Also, what's nice is you can destroy their bullets with your bullets.
I imagine maybe there's some bullets that can't be destroyed. Is that the case? Or maybe not.
Well, I think at the beginning, when you destroy a bullet, your bullet also gets destroyed.
Oh, okay.
So,
but now it's piercing through. It looks like.
Yeah, there are upgrades that your bullets are not destroyed.
Right.
So it does seem like you can specialize in one of several different ways to play. Heal to max HP.
That seems fine. Projectile damage up, projectiles plus, movement speed, and they all seem pretty good. But and some of them have cost. Yeah.
Projectiles take +1 hit before. Let's go with that. So this will let me, I think, shoot through more of their projectiles before my bullets are destroyed.
Yeah, that might prevent you from taking damage, so it might be just as good or better than healing to full. Oh, that's some damage.
Oh god, yeah. This gets a little crazy. A little crazy. Oh, it's this guy. He's stuck in the wall. Get out of here. Come on.
Well, he got all the way down there.
For every meter you run, 3 explosive projectiles are launched upwards. Here we go.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's just launching fireworks everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to keep on moving around. You got to wiggle around a little bit.
This game really is just a fireworks simulator, I think.
Yeah, it actually, yeah. I mean, the enemies explode like fireworks.
Attack speed +12. Just doing a little wiggle here. A little wiggle.
Yeah, attack speed, that's just a damage up. That's essentially just a increase your DPS. That's what a lot of upgrades are in these games and in pretty much all games. Attack speed, crit damage, crit chance, power. They all basically do the same thing. But if you get out your spreadsheet and start doing some math, you can figure out which one is the correct one to take in which situation, which is really done quite a lot for games like Diablo 3 and Path of Exile.
Hey man, speaking of Diablo 3, Diablo 4 is coming out.
Yeah, are you going to buy it?
I already bought it.
Oh.
I did something bad, which was I pre-ordered a game, which is you're not supposed to do.
No, you're definitely not supposed to do that, Ed.
It's not very nice, but I'm not taking any risks. This is not a game that I'm going to be skipping out on. It's not as if I was going to pre-order it and then not ever play it for like 200 hours. That's going to happen.
You know what game I'm going to skip out on?
What's that?
Diablo 4.
Are you really?
Yeah. I'm skipping out on Diablo 4.
I respect your decision, but it's the wrong decision. No, that's not true.
Well,
it's the right decision.
Maybe we'll make an episode or two of it on the channel, and I'll play it, and Ed can show me how to play it.
When killed, enemies release 2 weaker projectiles. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and play Diablo Immortal.
I hope they add controller support.
They probably will. I imagine they did.
Because on the console, or maybe they released the console versions at the same time. Because the console version of Diablo 3, which I actually played a lot of, I played a lot of the PC and the console, and I actually strongly preferred the console version. Not that the PC version's bad, but I really liked the way that they handled the controller inputs on that.
I remembered you saying that. That struck me. It's not something you necessarily think of.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was, but it was. I mean, it was pretty fantastic.
That is in June, so just a few more months. Get through the terrible winter months, and all of a sudden we've got Diablo to look forward to.
It's a summer release.
It's a summer release.
Well, that's good for the kids.
What's funny is they released it. It's June 6th, so that they can do 6/6/23.
Oh yeah, well,
they tried. They really tried. They got the first 2 right.
Yeah, they could wait 3 more years.
To 6/6/26.
What was released on 6/6/06? There had to be some game.
Oh yeah, certainly there was. What was it? Probably several.
There were probably several games and movies even released on that date.
Anything worth remembering though? I mean, usually that's...
Yeah, I can't remember anything, but I do know that the Sega Dreamcast was released on 9/9/99.
Oh, who could forget, right?
September 9th, 1999. I'll never forget that. That's the only release date that I have memorized. I don't know the release dates of pretty much any game or console except for that one because it's just such a memorable number. And well, I also love the console.
Yeah,
it might be my favorite console of all time.
It's definitely up there. I used to remember a lot of the release dates for like N64 and PlayStation 2 things. For some, I don't know why. I had a good memory back then. Not anymore.
Do you remember the date that Glover came out?
No. Although it just came out on Steam.
It came out the week before Ocarina of Time.
Oh yeah, that was 1998.
So
I
it
think
didn't
was
do
like-
well.
Wasn't that November 1998 or something like that?
Yeah. Was it 98? I think that was 98.
I think it
That's
was.
like, man, I don't know. It's probably just nostalgia, but I feel like those were great times.
I think they were great times. Everything was so simple, you know?
Things definitely were simpler. Like, there's no arguing that. Life's gotten more complicated, not just because we're getting older and becoming adults, but there's just a lot more complications with the technologies that we have now that have arisen.
Back then they couldn't patch games. So if there was a game-breaking bug,
Yeah, and just in the realm of games.
they were just stuck with it.
And there's just so many darn games now.
I know. Like, there's this game. Why are we playing this game? There's so many other games to play. We're playing this.
Yeah, well, we decided on this because we thought it would be pretty quick to make an episode, and we wanted to get one more episode recorded tonight since we haven't recorded
Right.
in at least a month. It's probably been like a month and a half. So it's fun. It's good to be back doing some recording. And also, recently, since we're late into the episode, I guess we can talk about a little inside stuff here. It's not really that important or interesting, but we did unearth so much old footage. So much old GameSoup footage dating all the way back to 2017, I think was the earliest stuff that was in that folder.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, some of it was, I couldn't believe that we had stuff that old that had never been released, and some of it is never going to be released because it was just bad. But the reason why it wasn't released wasn't necessarily because it was all bad. It was actually mostly good, and some of it's really funny. And we covered a lot of interesting old games. It's all old game stuff. It's all emulation stuff that we did. Like a lot of Game Boy games, Super Nintendo games. So that stuff's going to be coming out, I guess, over the course of years. But I broke it down. Joe recently went through all that stuff, and I broke it down into 20 episodes of 1 to 3 or 4 games each. So they're going to be like games we never played style episodes. So look forward to those long lost episodes coming out
I'm looking forward
in
to
the
them.
near and distant future.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to those. I was there. I was there for it.
And yeah, we also have some other long lost episodes that are unreleased besides those ones we recently just unearthed. But I think that's the last of it though. So we aren't going to have too much more after that unless we deliberately make some more, or we just forget about some recordings that we have, which we probably will do.
Yeah.
it probably will happen.
Did we ever put out that Pilot Wing 64 video?
We did, yeah.
Oh,
That
we
one
did?
went out.
Okay,
Yep,
I was
that
gonna
one went
say-
out. I think that's the newest video as of right now, but probably there's going to be we're probably going to put out a couple more videos before you guys hear this one.
Regenerates HP based on the percent. Wait, what was it? The number of enemies alive. So that's interesting. There are some interesting choices to make in this game.
Yeah, kind of a game like this, I think it seems like it would be a nightmare to balance because it's so random, right? Roguelike games and roguelike games are kind of hard to balance. And we did one. I mean, we did Infernal Racket, but that was we kept that really basic. We kept the upgrades in that pretty darn basic. But even that, like, I'm a balance fiend. Like I'm kind of obsessed with making game balanced, and in that case I was too obsessed with it because it really it didn't matter that much how the random factors in the game didn't really matter that much because it's a one-player game, and it doesn't matter if a player is able to get a really lucky run and get like 10 million points in Infernal Racket, which I think would probably be a very high score. That would be an incredibly high score. But I tried to balance it so that each level could yield roughly the same amount of points if you did a perfect run of it. And I had to figure out how to do perfect runs of all of our levels. I'm sure there are better ways to run through each level, but all that design that I did and all that balancing that I did really was for nothing because nobody learned to play the game to a high level. Like I'm happy that there are several people that have beaten the game, which is really nice that people took the time and took the to put in the effort because it is a hard game, and that the people enjoyed the game enough to play all the way through it and get a clear on it because we did not make it easy to get a clear on the game.
Yeah, we did not. And I've seen people play it fairly recently on Twitch. They never get to the end. They get close. Whoa, my God. Did you hear that?
You got it. Was that aimer always there? Where you're aiming?
This one, yeah.
Oh, okay. Wasn't paying too much attention. You know, I went to a nearby arcade recently, and they had, you know how they have like the world's most giant Space Invaders, and it's that
Yeah.
big bright screen with all the that's made up of all the little light bulbs.
Yeah.
I mean, if you live in the U.S. and you go to arcades, you've probably seen it. It's a huge screen though. There's a new one besides the old Space Invaders, and there's a Pac-Man one, but there's a new one. There's a Bust-A-Move one now.
No way.
Yeah, and I played it a bunch of times.
That's right up your alley, right?
Yeah, I mean, I love the old Bust-A-Move games, and they did it in a really fast arcade style. Like I mean, obviously the original game was an arcade game, but it's done in like a quarter eating style for the modern day. The game lasts probably 45 seconds.
Wow.
Unless you have a good run.
Wow.
My best run, I don't know, I got like 60 something lines, I think, on my best run. It scores you based on how many lines you can clear. So it's just an endless Bust-A-Move.
Wow. So they had to adapt that for Space Invaders. They didn't have to adapt that, right? Because that was already an arcade game. But for
No,
Bust-A-Move,
they adapted
did?
it for a new. Yeah, it's a completely new and more exciting version of Space Invaders that
it is?
plays a lot faster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I guess that makes sense.
I mean,
I guess it has to.
if you're trying to judge a game based on its purely on, I mean, it depends on it depends on how you want to measure it. It depends on what you want out of the game, I suppose, because it's supposed to be a quarter munching arcade game, but the original Space Invaders would never keep the attention of anybody, not even like it's definitely not children now.
Yeah.
And it might keep the attention of somebody who was a fan of it in the old days and just has nostalgia for it, but it's not going to bring in no new player is going to choose to play Space Invaders over everything else in the arcade. So they had to update it to be more exciting, and it also kills you a lot faster.
Oh yeah.
Like the game's essentially timed, and it's the same thing like with the Bust-A-Move game. It's essentially timed so that you're supposed to fail around line 30 if you play pretty well.
It's not that many lines.
No, it takes like 45 seconds. But like when I had a good run, I could get to like 60 lines or something. And it just starts falling so fast that you can't really keep up with it. And yeah, it's just over really fast. And so they just. And you get tickets. You get like prize tickets, right? So it's technically a redemption game. So there's another layer to it,
Yeah.
which a redemption game can't take very long to play because they want you to just because they're giving you a prize also for playing it. You're getting a product.
I was killed.
If you get enough of these tickets, which I got a lot of tickets playing that Bust-A-Move game because I kept playing it over and over again. I could have gotten a My Hero Academia coffee mug,
Dude.
but I didn't get it.
Unbelievable.
I still have the tickets. I don't know. I don't really need prizes. I just wanted to play Bust-A-Move. So that was the story of Bust-A-Move, and this was the story of Seraph's Last Stand.
Get it on Steam. It's fun.
If you liked what you saw,
Yeah. If you didn't like what you saw, don't buy
then
it.
don't buy it. You know, there's a lot of games out there. There is a game for you out there. There's the perfect game that you're going to have the most fun with and is going to touch your life out there, but you probably won't find it because it's buried under millions of other games. So you're not going to find that exact game. There is that one exact game for all of us out there, and I hope that you find it because, you know, we like you.